Hi students, welcome to S&M Coaching Center. Today we are doing the basics of trigonometry. Trigonometry especially deals with a right angled triangle. So let me take a right angled triangle ABC which is right angled at B. Now in a right angle, the moment you take the right angle, you should know which is your hypotenuse. The side opposite to the right angle, which is AC, this becomes your hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is fixed for a right angle. It will always be the side opposite to the right angle. Now, what are the other two sides will be then called as? They will be called as acute angles. Why so? Because suppose if I take this angle to be 30 degrees, what will this angle become? Angle C will then become 60 degrees such that the sum of angle A and angle C should always be 90 degrees. So this will be 60 degrees. And what are 30 and 60 degrees? They are angles less than 90 degrees and hence these are called as acute angles. So, in a right angled triangle, if one angle is 90 degree, the other two angles will be acute angles. Now, our study is all based upon this acute angles. Suppose, let me take this angle C as my acute angle. I am not giving it any measure, any value. Let me just say angle C is my acute angle of concern right now. Now, what will be the other two sides called as? Whenever you have to name the other two sides, especially in a trigonometry, first you should decide which is your acute angle. For me right now, C is my acute angle. Then AB, what is AB? AB is a side that is opposite to the acute angle. Then AB will be called as opposite side or perpendicular. AB will be called as opposite side or perpendicular. And this acute angle C is lying on the side BC. It is based on BC. Hence, BC is called as either the base or it is called also as adjacent side. And the hypotenuse will not change according to the acute angle. Suppose I will redraw one more triangle. Now this is again triangle ABC, which is right angle is at B. So automatically AC will be called as hypotenuse. Now, which is my acute angle of concern? It is angle A. So from angle A point of view, which is the opposite side or the perpendicular? Now the side will be BC. So BC will be called as the opposite side or perpendicular. And on which side the acute angle is based on? It is lying on AB. AB hence will be called as a base or adjacent side. Now you might be asking, ma'am, this acute angle is based even on AC. Why can't AC be the base? But as you know, AC is already fixed as a hypotenuse. It cannot act like an adjacent side. So this is how you should first name the sides based on which is your acute angle. Once the naming is clear, let us now go to the basically what is trigonometry. So now I have a right angled triangle which is right angled at C. Now my angle, acute angle, I will consider it as C. So according to C, this will become the opposite side and this will become your base and this anyhow you know this will become the hypotenuse. Now we will see what the trigonometry is. Trigonometry is basically nothing but the ratio of the sides that you take in a right angle according to any certain acute angle. So my acute angle is C. So from C point of view, if I take a ratio of opposite side and hypotenuse. So if I am taking the ratio of two sides, which are the sides opposite side and hypotenuse. So if it is the ratio of opposite side by the hypotenuse, such a ratio of sides is known as sine theta. What is it called? Sine theta. So, a ratio of a opposite side by the hypotenuse is called as sine theta. Theta is nothing but your acute angle. Instead of C, I can call it as theta. Theta is, children do not get confused. Theta is an acute angle. So, what is it called as? Sine theta. The complete name is SINE, sine. But in short, how do we write it? We write it as SIN. Please do not pronounce it as a sin theta. No, it is a sine theta. Instead of theta, your books may give it as a sine A, sine C, sine B. Doesn't matter. They all are same. This represents it's an acute angle. So what is a sine? Sine is the ratio of opposite side by hypotenuse. Now, if from this, what are we basing these sides on? We are naming the sides based upon that C is my acute angle. Now, if I take a ratio of a base and hypotenuse, if I take the ratio of a base and hypotenuse, base upon hypotenuse, then such a ratio will be called as cosine theta. What will it be called as? Cosine theta, or in short, it is called as cos theta. What will it be called as? Cos theta. Now, if I take the ratio of an opposite side by base, opposite by base, what will it be called as? Now, it is called as opposite ratio of opposite side by base. Is called as a tangent theta. Is called as tangent theta, or in short, it is called as tan theta. What is it called? Tan theta. If you are, now see, we have a ratio of opposite by hypotenuse and we are calling it as sine theta. However, if I take the reciprocal of this ratio, what is the reciprocal of this ratio? Hypotenuse by opposite. So if I take a ratio of the sides as hypotenuse by opposite side, then that would be called a different name. It will not be sine theta. What it will be called as? It will be called as cosecant theta. What will it be called as? Cosecant theta, or in short, it will be called as cosec theta. Cosec theta. Now, did you notice a relation between sine theta and cosec theta? If you take the reciprocal of sine theta, which is opposite by hypotenuse, you would obtain cosec theta. Similarly, if you take the reciprocal of cosec theta, you will get sine theta. So, now we got one important relation. What is this? Sine theta can be written as 1 by cosecant theta, and cosecant theta can be written as 1 by sine theta. Very important relation. Sine and cosecs are, what are they called as? They are called as reciprocal to each other. What are they called as? Reciprocal to each other. Okay, let us continue. Now, we have a ratio of base upon base by hypotenuse. Now, if I take the reciprocal of this, what will be the new ratio becomes? The new ratio will become hypotenuse by base. Hypotenuse by base. So, what is the name of for such a ratio? It will be called as secant theta. It will be called as secant theta. In short, sec theta. SEC, sec theta. Now, naturally, cos theta and secant theta are reciprocal to each other. So, how will you write? Cos theta is equals to 1 by secant theta. Secant theta is equals to 1 by cos theta. 1 by cos theta. Again, we established a relation between cos and secant, which are reciprocal to each other. Now, let us come to one more new ratio. Now, I have an opposite by base ratio. Now, if I take the reciprocal of this, what will it become? It would become a ratio of base upon opposite. So what is that called? It will be called as cotangent theta. It will be called as cotangent theta, or in short it will be called as cot theta. It will be called as cot theta. Now you know tan theta and cot theta are reciprocal to each other. So tan theta can be written as 1 by cot theta, or cot theta can be written as 1 by tan theta. So, in trigonometry today we'll understand how to write the trigonometrical ratios if proper values are given or if one of the values is missing. Suppose I have a right angle triangle wherein I have two sides, 17 is the hypotenuse and BC is 8. It could be centimeters or units, do not bother about it. Now, the question will be something like that. Find all the trigonometrical ratios for acute angle C. What is the question? Find all the trigonometrical ratios. Find all trigonometrical ratios for acute angle C. Ratios for acute angle C. For acute angle C. So what is he asking? He is asking us that we have to consider C as the acute angle and write all the six trigonometrical ratios according to C. No, but before we do that, there is a missing side. AB value is not known. How do we get AB? So, whenever we have to find a missing side from a right angle triangle, what is that we have to use? We have to use the Pythagoras theorem. So, from Pythagoras theorem, writing PT, which means Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem states that hypotenuse square is equals to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Hypotenuse square is equals to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Which is the hypotenuse? 17 is the hypotenuse. So 17 square should be equal to, which is the side 1. You can consider either as a side 1, doesn't matter. One side is 8, so 8 square plus what is the other one? AB. AB I don't know, so I will write it as AB square. What is the 17 square, children? Yes, it is 289. You better know your squares till 25. 64 plus AB whole square. Now, how will you find AB value? Transpose 64 to this side. So, 289 minus 64 is equals to your AB whole square. So, 289 minus 68 as it is, AB whole square. Now, if you know your squares properly, the moment you see this 225, you would be knowing that 225 is a square of 15. So, I will write 15 225 as a 15 square. This is equals to AB square. Square, square cancelled. So what is basically the measure of AB? It is 15. 15 centimeters, units, whatever. Since he is not mentioned, I will write it as units. So AB is 15 units. Now we are not done with the sum. We still did not start the main problem. What is that he is asking? Let us start the trigonometrical ratios. What is that he is saying? Acute angle has to be C. If acute angle is C, then which will be your opposite side? AB will be your opposite side. Which will be the base from acute angle point of view? BC is your base. Then what is AC called? Side opposite to right angle. AC is called as the hypotenuse. So let us start writing all the trigonometrical ratios, children. First one is sine theta. What is the ratio of sine theta? It is the opposite side by hypotenuse. So what is opposite side? Opposite is 15 upon hypotenuse is 17. So 15 upon 17. Next one is cos theta. Cos theta is the ratio of base upon hypo. So it is base upon hypotenuse. So cos theta is 8 over 17. 8 over 17. Let us write the tan theta opposite upon base. Opposite upon base. So tan theta, you can write it as 15 upon 8. 15 upon 8. What are the other three trigonometrical ratios? Which is the reciprocal of sin theta? Reciprocal of sin theta is cosec theta. Cosec theta. So how will you write its ratio? Take the reciprocal. So it will become hypotenuse by opposite. So basically 17 by 15. 17 by 15. And then reciprocal of cos is secant theta or sec theta. What is the ratio? Take the reciprocal of cos, hypo by base. So it's the ratio of hypotenuse upon base. So hypotenuse is 17, 17 over 8. And then reciprocal of tan theta is cot theta. So cot theta is, what is the ratio? Base upon opposite. Base upon opposite. So base is 8, opposite is 15. So cot theta is 8 by 15. Now, children, we can use the same sum and find something new out of it. Now, I can change the question and say, find all the trigonometrical ratios for acute angle A. For acute angle A. So, where is my acute angle now? Acute angle is now at A. Where is theta? Theta is at A. So, what will be sin theta? Sin theta formula will remain the same. Ratio will remain the same. Opposite by hypotenuse. But which is the opposite? No. Now I will have to change all these things. Why? Because I have to name them according to angle A. From an angle A point of view, which is the opposite side? BC. So this becomes your BC. From angle A point of view, AB becomes your base and AC remains hypotenuse unchanged. Let us write it. Sin theta opposite by hypo. Now, which is our acute angle? It is A. So, opposite by hypo. 8 by 17. Cos theta adjacent or base upon hypo. So, 15 over 17. 15 over 17. Now, tan is opposite or base. Opposite and base. So, 8 over 15. Cosecant theta. Cosecant theta is hypo. So just take the reciprocal of sine. That is the simplest way. If sine is 8 by 17, what would be your cosecant? 17 over 8. 17 over 8. Similarly, tell me for secant theta, 17 over 15. Take the reciprocal of cos. For cot, take the reciprocal of tan. It will be 15 by 8. This is how, if values are given, you have to find the trigonometrical ratio.